anọkwa m na meeting.
Meeting ebe. Wete kọpụ. Obe.
So you know say I suppose the meeting now, eh?
Oh, sorry. I'm not check time. Sorry. No face.
Before you come, you suppose a message for Telegram first.
But you're not online now.
I'm not online now, sir. Which day I know you're online. You drop your message. Once I respond, you feel call.
Time, so.
Okay, we have 4 participants already. Can you hear me? Good. If you can see my screen, then we can commence immediately. I hope we have people from Basho in this meeting. I hope we have people from Basho. If you are not communicating with me, there's no need of on your microphone. I hope we have people from Basho in this meeting. Do we have people from Camp 2 in this meeting?
Yes, you do. I'm from Camp 2.
Good. So we can start. Can you see my screen?
I can only see take the risk and lose the chance or lose the chance. That's what I can see, and I'm not seeing any screen. Now
Okay,
it's blank.
but you can see my screen and it should be up now.
Yeah, I can see your screen right now, sir.
Good. So let's get started. Yesterday we were able to discuss how to use the header, how to use the HTML tag, and some other things. So let me just open the file. I created a folder yesterday for on my desktop for the training. So, and I named the folder my camp website. So right inside my camp website, I'm supposed to have some files here. So, okay, select folder first. So I have my index file inside my camp folder. What was this and where do we have it here? Let me close this. Minimize this. So I have an index file. Let me on my live preview. I also showed you guys how to install and use this live preview yesterday, but when I was having the meeting with you guys, I wasn't getting any response. So I believe you guys must have gone through the recorded class. And also, it's only about just 2 persons that asked me questions in the group. One of the people was attempting to create a new file and the person named the file index.html.txt, which is wrong. The name of your file should be index.html. If you say index.html, it means it's an HTML document. But if you say index.html.txt, it means it is just a text document. And one other thing, apart from are they meeting, I go bring the charger for you. Are they meeting? I don't know when are they meeting. Take. One other thing, apart from sorry for that interaction, please. Apart from the index dot html dot txt, when you say dot txt, it means you are saying that it is a text file. But when you say dot html, it means you are saying that it's an HTML document. So, and apart from adding that extension .html, you can because some people are expecting the skeleton, the HTML skeleton to come out automatically, which happens in Visual Studio Code. But in the beginning of our programming days, where you used to use a notepad, you don't have to wait for any suggestion. There wasn't any form of auto suggestion. You just have to type your HTML skeleton and your code manually. So that being said, yesterday I explained what the HTML skeleton is and how to bring it up, how to create a folder, and we were able to use the header H2. We were able to use the page, and I also use lorem to auto-populate some paragraph text. I also use UL, which is on other lists, and I use the type attribute. I also use OL, which is ordered list. And I concluded the class by importing a picture into the document. So then I gave an assignment yesterday that you people should go home and build your personal profile using HTML. So today we are going to proceed further. We are going to do continue with the list. Apart from having a straight line list like this, there's also what we call nested lists. Nested lists. For example, I don't know how I can explain it, but if you're in an example, you can have some questions that have that starts with one, and they also have a Roman figure under them, something like this. OL, enter. Then you have a question like, okay, let's say LI, enter, and you say define civil civil engineering. So you have this question as your list. So right under the list, you can have a sub list right under the list. So LI, you can have a sub list. I will change this type to Roman figure. So I can call this list types of blah 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 blah. Then this can come into different Roman figure. You can see what's happening there. So I can also have another list right inside this list. So I can also have another list call this Amaka. I'll name the type A, Roman figure A, small a, and so many Amaka. So if you pay attention to what I'm doing here, you will see that I was able to create sublists inside the list. So it is called nested list. Nested list. So I didn't even teach batch one this because I forgot to mention it, but maybe I may mention it to them some other time. Or if they join this meeting, they can get it. So when you look at this list, we have one, and we have Roman figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under the Roman figure, we have alphabet A, B, C, D to the end. This entire list, I can decide to copy it. I can decide to copy this list. I can decide to copy this list. Where do I start from? Okay, Li. Can decide to copy this list and Ctrl Z, paste it severally because I don't want to type, and decide to edit it later. So if you look at this, you now have 1, you have 2, you have 3, you have 4, and so on. This is what you call nested list. Do we have a question? So nobody gets any question. Do we have a question? Turn on your mic if you want to ask a question. Hey, this meeting, I just 2 people did this meeting. You guys will close this meeting. Is there any question? Francis and Progress, is there any question?
No question. No
Okay,
question.
You're not that clear. I think your network is breaking.
okay. It means you all understand what I'm saying. What I'm teaching you, you all understand how to create the nested list. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. The nested list must be so simple for you guys, for you to understand it so easily. So, and I hope, Francis, you are not from batch 1, no. But you are not from batch 2. I know Francis.
I
So,
know, sir. I know.
so is Progress a member of batch 2? Or nobody joined the meeting from Camp 2?
I'm from the boot too.
Huh?
I'm from the boot too.
Okay, good. So we only have one person there. So that's for nested list. So we have this class won't be recorded. I won't publish this class because most people are not attending this meeting because they believe I'll give them recorded version. I won't publish this lesson. So the next thing we're going to talk about, we are going to talk about, okay, we have less than 20 minutes. So let me go to tables. So very quickly, let me clear up this place, or let me use a new page so that this can be a bit clearer. So I will save. For the other guy who was saying that his HTML skeleton is not coming up, when you type Ctrl S, which is save, just write the file name to be, let me call this table dot HTML. So when you want to create your tables, what do? There is what we call, okay, I'll first bring in my HTML skeleton so that it can hold my documents together. Let me close this and open a lifesaver for this table. There is what we call the table tag. So for you to bring it up, just type table and the VS Code will automatically suggest it with autocomplete. So when I type table, my table comprises of my table heading and my table body. You know, it is normal to have headings in table. So for me to create a space for my headings, I have to say T head. So that's the tag for heading. So for me to create a space for the body, which is the rows, the other rows, I have to say T body. So what do we do next? There are always data inside our tables. So for us to bring in the heading data, we use the tag th. So what's the first data? Names of girls. Then I can decide to get another heading. And I'll call it names of boys. As you can see, we have two headings here, names of boys and names of girls. So I'll start creating the rows that I need. I need one row per time, and inside that one row, I will have two table data each, one for girl and one for boys. So T arrow, enter. I will have, for me to bring in the table data, which is the data in the row, I'll use TG, enter. So Amaka will be the first girl. Then for boys, Francis. So if you look at my screen, you can see an error that my HTML tag is showing. That was because a less than sign is missing from my closing tag. So once I input it, it will be corrected. So we have one row, but the row contains two table data called Amaka and Francis. We have one head, but the head contains two table heads called names of girls and names of boys. So we can have multiple rows. As much as we want. So that is it. And we can decide to change the datas we have. on the rows. So what do we have there? Alternate tab. Okay. What do we have there? We have Aaron. Aaron. Okay, Aaron is a female. So let me use gifts. So Aaron. Then we have progress. We have progress in this meeting. Progress. We have Nkechi. So we have blessing. We have Young. Young is in this meeting. So we have happy. We also have Frank. So with this, you have been able to create table that contains two columns. So I'm going to make this a bit more complex. So how do I go about that? I want to copy this table. I want to duplicate this table so that I can merge some. Right here, I want you to pay attention now. Right here, we have two table head, names of boys and names of girls. So if I delete one table head, there will be a mix-up. So for me to make this heading to stand for both of them, I have to merge both columns for the heading. And how do I do that? I'll use cospan and I'll say 2. I want the heading to be for 2 columns. That is cospan 2. So if I need okay, let's end it there. So that is it. You can create one heading for 2 columns. Let's take a bit further. Let's take this a bit further. We can have a calendar as a table, and we'll have T heads. And T head will carry the see people when they learn, they play see this and that. T head, TH. So I can say, let my TH be December. December. And I need December to span through 7 days. 7 days. So I need a body for my calendar table. And the body, we have different rows with 7 table datas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, I can add some data. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, this is wrong. I should have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, we should stop at Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Saturday. We'll end it there. So we have our first row containing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So there is something wrong here. There is something wrong here because we have a T head here. So if I have T head here, we can't have T table here. This is T body, T body, T body, T body. Immediately I did that correction, you see that the December got centralized. So this is just a body. What do I do next? I want to create another role. I just copy this and paste it in the next line. So I'll edit this. I don't want anything to be in this column. I don't want anything to be in this column. I want here to start, the date to start from 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have one rule. We can have as much as 7 times 5, 35. Okay, we can have as much as 5 rows. So I'll copy this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll start editing. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If you pay attention, you see what's happening in my calendar. As I'm editing the items there, you see that they are changing 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So I'll remove this. So what have we done? We have been able to create a calendar table. Now, I want to take questions. We have 9 minutes. So if you have a question, turn on your mic and ask your question. So I'll give you guys 2 minutes to ask me your question. Because by 8:35, if you don't ask any question, it means you all understand what I just taught.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
So I was asking, since you're trying to create a table, like, what if we want to use lines to, separate our columns? Is there a way that we can input lines with our codes?
Of course, now, when you want to add line to the table, you use what we call border. So because you ask, we have not gotten to that stage, but because you ask, I'm going to add CSS to this file. So I'll say style.css. Let me add the CSS because when you want to add those lines, you use CSS to add them. It's called border. So I will attach my CSS link, style.css. So I have my CSS already. What do? I will say T body and T h with T data TD and T role. I want them to have border solid black, solid blue, violet. So can you see what just happened? Can you see that? Aaron, you dey see wetin happen so?
Yes, I'm seeing that.
Good. So all you just have to do is to add border. But if you don't do your HTML properly, you cannot add border automatically like that. So something is missing here. Let me add table to it. So we have our calendar now. Okay, another question. I won't take questions. Questions, because I'll give you guys assignments. Questions. If you don't understand, be confident to ask your questions now. Okay. If you come to my DM to ask me questions privately, you pay for consultation. Ask your questions now. Okay. So there is no other question. Now, what do I want to do? I want to show you guys something. If you look at your table, you see that we have 3 empty columns. Okay. So I can decide to use cospan to merge those columns together if I wish. How do I go about that? I can decide to copy. Where is my table? I can decide to copy my table cospan. So Can decide to copy my table, my calendar, take it somewhere else. So I just copied it. So we now have two calendars. So what do I want to do? I want to merge these two rows. I'm trying to demonstrate so that you guys can understand what I mean by co-span. How do I go about that? I will go to the second row, row 2, and I will remove two table data. Once I remove two table data, there will be a confusion there. I remove the two table data because I just need one. So I will say co-span and theory because I want it to span into 3 places. Can you see that? So you can mesh columns, you can mesh row. When you want to mesh column, you use column span. And when you want to mesh row, I think it should be row span. You can go and find out what it should be. So this will be the end of the meeting. If there's no other questions, we have 3 minutes. So if you get your question, ask your question now. Ask your question now. Now, let me show you something. This Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you see here, we can make them bold. How do we go about that? Bold is B. So I can just highlight this and say, I think the tag should be okay, it didn't work. So I can just say, should be shift or control. Okay, let me type it manually. B, enter. It's called bold. Call this and put it here. There is also what we call strong. It's also the same thing as bold. There is italics too. You can use italic. Italic is I. So I expect you guys to read up on HTML tags. So I can also make this one bold too. Can make this one bold. B, enter. Copy the content. Put it inside here. So So we have it all bold now. I can decide to increase, I have less than 1 minute. I can decide to increase the size of my December by making it a H1. I'll make December H1. So you can do as much manipulation as you know. So study for you to know how to go about this. Thank you very much for attending my class.